Long before European ships arrived, the land we now call America was a vibrant tapestry of life. America was teeming with life and diverse cultures, each contributing to a rich mosaic of human existence. Native American tribes thrived, each with unique traditions, languages, and stories that were passed down through generations. From the eastern woodlands to the Great Plains, they were deeply connected to the land, understanding its rhythms and respecting its gifts. They were hunters, gatherers, farmers, and fishermen living in harmony with nature, taking only what they needed and giving thanks for the bounty. The Cherokee, Lakota, and Iroquois each had distinct cultures and ways of life, reflecting the diversity of the landscapes they inhabited. Skilled artisans, they crafted pottery, wove intricate baskets, and adorned themselves with feathers and beads, each piece telling a story of its own. Their oral histories, rich with creation stories and ancestral wisdom, explained the creation of the world and their place within it, offering guidance and teaching values. But across the ocean, a change was coming that would forever alter their destiny. The arrival of European explorers and settlers brought new challenges and upheavals. The first encounters were marked by curiosity and cautious exchanges. But soon, the impact of colonization began to reshape their world. Despite the immense challenges, Native American tribes showed resilience, adapting and resisting in the face of overwhelming odds. Today, the legacy of these ancient peoples lives on as their descendants continue to preserve and celebrate their rich heritage, ensuring that the stories and traditions of the past are not forgotten. The late 15th and early 16th centuries marked a period of intense exploration, driven by the insatiable curiosity and ambition of European powers. European powers set sail across the vast Atlantic Ocean, driven by dreams of unknown lands, untold riches, and the promise of new trade routes. These voyages were perilous, filled with uncertainty and danger, but the potential rewards were too great to ignore. In 1492, Christopher Columbus made his historic landfall in the Caribbean, believing he had reached the fabled East Indies. This monumental event marked the beginning of a new era in world history, as it opened the door to further exploration and conquest. Columbus's discovery set off a wave of expeditions by other European nations, eager to establish their own colonies and claim their share of the New World. The Spanish, Portuguese, French and English all vied for dominance, each establishing settlements and seeking to expand their influence. The encounter between Europeans and Native Americans was a profound clash of cultures, with each side bringing their own beliefs, traditions and ways of life. These initial meetings were often marked by curiosity and mutual interest, but underlying tensions soon emerged. While some interactions were peaceful and led to beneficial exchanges of knowledge and goods, others quickly escalated into tension and conflict. The Europeans' desire for land and resources often clashed with the Native Americans' way of life, leading to misunderstandings and hostilities. One of the most devastating consequences of this contact was the spread of European diseases to the indigenous populations. Lacking immunity to these new illnesses, entire communities were decimated, leading to a dramatic decline in the Native American population. This period set the stage for a complex and often tragic relationship between Europeans and Native Americans. The interactions between these two groups were marked by a mix of cooperation, conflict, and profound cultural exchange, shaping the future of the Americas in ways that are still felt today. The early 17th century marked a significant era in history, with the establishment of the first permanent English settlements in North America. These settlements were the stepping stones for what would eventually become the United States. In 1607, English colonists established Jamestown in Virginia. They faced immense hardship, including disease, starvation, and conflicts with the indigenous peoples. The settlers struggled to survive in an unfamiliar and often hostile environment, but their determination and resilience kept them going. In 1620, another group of English settlers, known as the Pilgrims, landed at Plymouth Rock. Unlike the Jamestown settlers, the Pilgrims were seeking religious freedom and a place to practice their faith without persecution. Their journey on the Mayflower was perilous, but their faith and hope for a new life sustained them. Both Jamestown and Plymouth settlements endured brutal first winters. The colonists faced freezing temperatures, food shortages, and disease. Their survival was made possible through the assistance of Native Americans who taught them essential skills such as farming and fishing. As these early colonists settled into their new lives, they began to develop their own forms of government and self-rule. This was a significant step towards the democratic principles that would later define the nation. The signing of the Mayflower Compact in 1620 was a landmark event. This document established a framework for civil government based on the consent of the governed, laying the groundwork for future democratic governance in America. Despite the numerous hardships, including harsh winters, food shortages, and conflicts, these early settlements laid the foundation for American independence. The experiences and lessons learned by these early colonists were crucial in shaping the future of the nation. From these humble beginnings, a nation would rise. The dreams and struggles of these early settlers were intertwined with the fabric of what would become the United States. Their perseverance and vision set the stage for the growth and development of a new nation, built on the principles of freedom and self-governance. As European settlements expanded, tensions with Native Americans escalated. The Pequot War in 1637 marked a turning point in this conflict. Decades later, King Philip's War in 1675 engulfed New England in brutal conflict. These wars exposed deep-seated resentment and resistance to English expansion. They shaped the relationship between colonists and Native Americans, fostering mistrust. The wars forced colonists to develop unity and self-reliance. These experiences played a crucial role in shaping the American colony's character. The latter half of the 17th century saw growing unrest in the colonies. Bacon's rebellion in 1676 exposed deep divisions within colonial society. Nathaniel Bacon rallied farmers and indentured servants against Governor Berkeley. Economic hardship and resentment towards the ruling elite fueled the rebellion. Though unsuccessful, it exposed the fragility of colonial authority. The rebellion highlighted the growing divide between wealthy planters and poorer farmers. It demonstrated the power of popular resistance and the potential to challenge the established order. The seeds of rebellion would continue to grow, nurtured by a sense of injustice. The 18th century dawned with growing unease in the colonies. The British government viewed the colonies as a source of revenue. Acts like the Sugar Act and Currency Act imposed new taxes without consent. The cry of no taxation without representation echoed throughout the colonies. Secret societies like the Sons of Liberty organized protests against British rule. Colonial leaders like Samuel Adams and Patrick Henry rose to prominence. The stage was set for a showdown between colonial resistance and British authority. A clash that would determine the fate of the American colonies was imminent. In December 1773, tensions reached a boiling point with the Boston Tea Party. The Tea Act granted the British East India Company a monopoly on tea sales. Colonists, disguised as Native Americans, dumped tea into Boston Harbor. This act of defiance sent a powerful message to Great Britain. The Boston Tea Party galvanized opposition to British rule. The British response, the Coercive Acts, further inflamed tensions. The stage was set for a full-blown confrontation and revolution. The British response to the Boston Tea Party fueled rebellion. The Coercive Acts pushed the colonies closer to war. In 1774, the First Continental Congress convened in Philadelphia. Delegates debated reconciliation versus forceful response. They agreed on resolutions, including a boycott of British goods. The Congress demonstrated colonial unity in opposition to British policies. The stage was set for a final confrontation, leading to the Revolutionary War. The Revolutionary War was a test of endurance and determination. The early years saw setbacks and victories for the Continental Army. The Battle of Bunker Hill demonstrated American tenacity. The turning point came with the American victory at Saratoga. France formally allied with the United States, providing crucial support. The final years saw a shift to the southern colonies. The Siege of Yorktown marked the final major battle. In 1783, the Treaty of Paris recognized American independence. The Treaty of Paris marked the culmination of the struggle for independence. The United States emerged victorious, united under a single banner. The fledgling nation faced the task of building a new government. The Articles of Confederation proved inadequate, leading to the Constitutional Convention. The Constitution established a framework for enduring government. The American Revolution inspired democratic ideals worldwide. The United States became a beacon of hope and opportunity, shaping history.